But then the question arises, what about the rest of us? I mean, this khutbah is about how amazing the Muhajirun are, how amazing the Ansar are, the people of Makkah who accepted Islam, the people of Medina who accepted Islam, and everything they did. But what about the rest of this ummah? What about you and me? Where is the inspiration for us? Yes, we can try and be in that category to be something like those who were al-fuqara, al-muhajirin, but we're not being asked to leave our homes. We're not asked to be homeless. We don't necessarily have a situation where we have refugees coming and staying inside of our homes. And if there are refugees, we should be the first to welcome them into our homes. But then there's the third group. And Allah in His mercy in this surah mentioned a third group. The language of that ayah is so beautiful, it includes every single one of us until the Day of Judgment. وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ, and those who came much after them. So these two groups and those who came much after them. That includes all of us. Now you notice, I want to compare here. In the first group, they sacrificed by migrating. They left everything behind. The second group showed love and support despite being hungry themselves. They did amazing things. They made huge sacrifices. Both groups made huge sacrifices. What sacrifice is the third group going to make? Let's see. He says, يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا. This third group is amazing because the first thing they do is they say, "Oh Allah, forgive us." They ask Allah's forgiveness. وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا, and forgive our brothers. الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ, who came before us with faith. And those who are ahead of us in their iman. You know what this means? The first loving, the quality that Allah loves about these people, the Muslims that will come after, that Allah makes them so important that He'll talk about them in His Quran, is He's going to say these are people who first of all want Allah to forgive them. But when they ask Allah to forgive them, they also ask Allah to forgive their brothers. And they also assume about their brothers that their brothers have more faith than they do. الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ, not just الَّذِينَ مَضَوْا إِيمَانًا. You know, those who came in the past and they were believers, but also those who are around us that have more iman than we do. Ya Allah, all the other Muslims are better than I am. Ya Allah, forgive them too. They don't think of themselves as better. They assume others are better. They just work with that assumption. الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And don't put in our hearts. Now there's an Arabic word, I won't translate it at first. Don't put inside of our hearts, and don't allow the placement inside of our hearts of ghil for those who believe, for any who have believed. Now what in the world is ghil? The word ghalla in Arabic, shiddatul atsh wal harara. They say in the Arabic language, the word ghil is extreme thirst and heat. And from it, the figurative meaning comes of al-hasad, al-ghish, al-haqd, al-nafar. They say in the Arabic language that this word actually means cheating. Ya Allah, don't make us those who feel like it's okay to cheat other Muslims. Ya Allah, don't make us of those who feel like it's okay to hate another Muslim, to look at another Muslim with jealousy, to look down at another Muslim, to have intense aggravation towards another believer. Ya Allah, don't make my heart dirty with that. Allah mentions this third group of people, and their amazing accomplishment is that they don't hate each other. That's their amazing accomplishment. They can think of the other as better than themselves, and they don't let their heart be filled with hate towards another Muslim. What happens, what shaitan does, is when you have a dispute with somebody, he'll first tell you that that person is a bad Muslim, that he is violating the Quran or the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that this person is a hypocrite and they're corrupt and they're evil, etc. Now that they're evil, backbiting against them, talking bad about them, criticizing them, even cheating them in business is okay because they're the devil to begin with. I'm fighting somebody evil. First you demonize a person and you make them look like the devil, and then you can do whatever you want thereafter. We are begging Allah in this ayah, don't make us of the kind of people who develop these sentiments and let them fester inside of us to the point where it becomes okay for us to do horrible things to fellow believers. To feel those things. لا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا. By the way, ghil in the Arabic language is something that is done, not something that necessarily is felt. وَمَا كَانَ لِنَبِيٍّ أَنْ يَغُلَّ. وَمَنْ يَغْلُلْ يَأْتِ بِمَا غَلَّ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ in Surah Al-Imran. Ghil is also used for cheating or wanting more for yourselves. But ghil has yet another meaning that I want to share with you. Ghil, some say shiddatul adawa and shiddatul hub. They say it's extreme animosity. Like you hear somebody's name and your meter just spikes. Fumes start coming out of your ears. You become unreasonably aggressive towards somebody. That's ghil. But there's another ghil. And the other ghil is when you become unreasonably defensive of another Muslim. Unreasonably, good towards another Muslim. Now what does that mean? It means when you decide that you are following someone, you look up to someone and you turn them into an angel. They can't do anything wrong. They can't be a human being. You don't want to hear anything about them. You don't want to see any flaw in them. The Prophet ﷺ would tell us, Al-Muslim mir'atul Muslim. The Muslim is the mirror of another Muslim. You know what that means? You and I, our relationship is like a mirror. When you stand in the mirror, if I'm wearing dirty clothes, I'm going to see a spot. And if I see something good, I'm going to see it. If I see something bad, I'll see it. If I see something good, if something good is there, I'll see it. It's not like my clothes are ironed and I'm going to see them wrinkled. And it's not like if my hair is combed, I'm going to see it uncombed. I'm going to see exactly what I am. Believers to each other are not delusional. They're not delusional that they only see bad in someone. And they're also not delusional that they only see good in someone. But they don't assume. See the previous ayah, how this comes together? You don't assume that someone's bad on the inside. But if you see something wrong, if you see something wrong is being done, something wrong is being said, then it's part of your love for your brother that you go and tell them, this is wrong. I'm your mirror. This is wrong. It shouldn't be like this. But you don't do it out of hate. You don't do it out of a sense of superiority. And you're just as easy as it is for most of us, if not all of us, to criticize, to point out what somebody else is doing wrong. It's not easy to hear it. It's not easy. When somebody else comes and tells you the way you did this, what you said, how you prayed, the way you parked your car outside, that was wrong. The way you conducted yourself, what you wrote in that email, that was wrong. We don't want to hear that. We're not very good at taking criticism. We're extremely good at giving criticism. If we're truly going to become a mirror, then we're going to have to learn that this is a two-way street. That's part of لا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا. And so this incredible ayah then ends, ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. Our Master, you are the one that is incredibly compassionate. Ra'fa in Arabic is to actually understand what the other is going through. Allah, when we call Allah Ra'uf, it actually means Allah knows all of my emotions. He knows all of my frustrations. He knows what wrong somebody did to me. He knows what situations I went through. He understands it. Sometimes you try to tell someone you're going through a hard time, but you notice that they're not really sensitive. They don't really see it. Oh, what's the big deal? They might just say, oh, what's the big deal? Get over it. How are you saying get over? Do you even realize what I went through? Yeah, it doesn't sound like much of a problem. It's hard for someone, just because you went through an experience, to get them to feel what you felt. It's hard. But Allah Azza wa Jal describes Himself as Ra'uf. He knows what you feel. He knows what you felt. He knows the pain you went through, the stress you went through, the fear you went through, the anxiety you went through. He knows all of it. And that name of Allah, these asma Allah, that come at the end of, the fawasil, the ends of ayat, they are there for a purpose. When we call Allah Ra'uf, we are actually asking Allah to empower us with that name. In other words, give us more ra'fa. Give us more compassion towards each other. Ya Allah, you are Rahim to us, make us Rahim to each other. Make us loving and caring towards each other. That's when we call on Allah's names, we're actually hoping that Allah blesses us with those names, not just that He gives us compassion, but He empowers us with compassion towards others. He makes us sensitive towards others.